Well, the election campaign is taking a short pause because of the Easter long weekend. Today, Peter Dutton attended a church service in Sydney. Anthony Albanese this morning went for a walk with Toto the dog. And of course, we know he loves talking about his dog. It's one of his more comfortable topics, that and Peter Dutton, of course.
I've never seen Toto with long locks before.
No, yeah, it's been
a haircut.
Yeah, well, you know, bad parenting.
You might have other things going on.
We've been a bit busy.
Yeah, bad parenting, a bit like how he treats the economy. And now we have 2 weeks to go on this campaign, and pre-poll opens on Tuesday. And really, the country is at a crossroads. Voters will have to decide whether they are happy with the status quo under this shambolic ad hoc Labor government, or if they want a fresh vision for the future under Peter Dutton. Now, I believe the opposition leader has had his best week on the campaign so far. He did pull off a strong performance in the leaders' debate on the ABC and really hammered Anthony Albanese on cost of living.
People have faced an existential cost of living crisis. People have seen food prices go up by 30%. So that makes the government's model roughly $600 billion. Where's that coming from? The reason the Prime Minister is running a scare campaign at the moment is that he doesn't want to talk about the reality of the last 3 years, which has been a failure for our country. And this Prime Minister has a problem with the truth. Can you answer the question, are you better off today than you were 3 years ago? And for the vast majority of Australians, the answer is no.
Now, I will say, though, that sort of fight, really taking it up to Labor, should have happened sooner. And, of course, Peter Dutton doesn't have a lot of time left to get voters to really switch over and ask them if they are better off now than they were 3 years ago. But the question is, will this good week for the coalition be enough to maintain the momentum over the next fortnight? And perhaps this short break will actually help the opposition leader regroup and refocus the campaign. The polls right now are difficult to interpret because of the unusually high soft vote. Labor's support remains much softer than the coalition's. More than half of its voters, about 57%, say they were only soft or leaning towards Labor, compared to 38% of the Liberal and National parties' vote. And this is the cohort that Peter Dutton must convince, because these are the voters that can indeed be persuaded. Now, the polls suggest a Labor minority is likely. In other words, a real muddled hung parliament, most likely a Labor, Greens, Tills party, with more reckless climate policies and accelerating us further into economic oblivion. A minority does not change the fact that the Labor government is completely weak and out of its depth. The election can still swing either way over the next fortnight, but people, of course, start casting their votes from Tuesday. So the messages need to be clearer than ever from the coalition. It really is now or never, or we face a second term run by a complete clown show.